Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Finger Guns podcast with Tony, Dave, and James. I am your co-host who is slightly under the weather. I call myself Head Cold Jimmy today. And I'm joined, as always, with...
Big Tasty Tony B.
As always, and...
Downtrodden Dave.
Downtrodden. Oh,
Yeah.
my friend.
Yeah, it's been a rough few days with the kids, so I'm a little downtrodden.
This whole weekend was a lot,
Yeah.
to be fair.
It's true. I've seen you chuckleheads quite a few times the last few
3
days.
days in a row.
I am overstimulated and I just want to go into a dark room and
Yeah.
not be bothered.
I think I've seen Tony like the last
Did you get up to
6
I
out of
guess,
7
right?
days
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, right? Because it was
Five out
what,
of five.
Wednesday?
Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday now. 5 out of 6 of the last
Jesus.
days I've seen this chucklehead.
It's been a time.
Yeah, it's
You
been
need
a time.
You need a break.
I need a dark
You
room.
need a break.
Yeah.
A long nap.
Long nap too.
It's fine. After this, we're back to a regular rotation. It should be okay.
And then it's just gonna ramp back up for
I just like
for
that I
that.
fucked with you guys last week,
Yeah.
and I was just like, whose house tonight?
Oh man, don't do that.
that was
For the briefest moment, my heart skipped, and I was like, "What the fuck? What do you mean?"
See, but you guys are saying all this. Some special news happened this week.
Oh,
We got accredited for another film festival.
correct.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. We got
So
accredited for Fantasia.
so you guys
again.
are saying right back to your regular scheduled programming, like
yeah, for one episode.
for
whatever.
one
We gotta-
episode, and then fucking we're in Fantasia mode.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, Jimmy's going to the States anyway, so that's
True.
gonna kind of hold us up a little bit.
Not really.
I mean, like with the planning of the episodes.
Oh, yeah,
type
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
we
yeah,
won't
yeah.
lose an episode.
No
but it
one
might
gives a
just,
shit about the administration
No,
side
no one
of this
cares.
podcast.
No one cares. They only care that it comes out. It doesn't matter when.
But yes, we got accredited for Fantasia.
Yeah.
Big ups to Fantasia, and we're waiting for TIFF to get back to us because we really want to see the new Taika Waititi movie
Yes.
because we know that's coming
Yes.
and world premiering.
So to all of our listeners, can you all say like one quick little prayer just to get us TIFF, please?
Yes.
Please.
Say a
Thank
prayer
you.
for us, guys.
Thank
Yes. Do the rosary, whatever you got to do.
Whatever you got to do. You want to talk about some movies and stop talking about hopeful dreams of film festivals to come?
Yes. Yes.
All right, let's
please
do it.
that.
It's Finger Guns podcast time. All right, so it's the return of our regular segment.
Ooh,
I don't
regular
even
segment.
Fucking like what, the beginning of June? So what, it's been a month since we've
It's been
done
about
this?
a month. Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyway, Best My Worst is back, everybody.
Woo!
Did y'all watch a lot in between with all the Tribeca stuff that we had to watch?
I watched quite a bit. Most of it was related to the main segment that we're doing today,
Yeah.
as well as the main
Yeah.
segment for
Next
2 weeks.
episode.
The next
Next
episode.
episode, yep, for sure.
And I really want to talk about a movie that, well, it's the opposite of Mission Difficult, but we're still embargoed on that until Wednesday. So
Wait,
if you
how is it the opposite of Mission Difficult? What is it like?
well, if it's difficult,
Lay down easy? What the fuck?
Impossible, difficult, like impossible. I don't
It's
know.
not the
Difficult sounds
opposite.
like you could finish it.
Yeah.
Impossible does not sound like you could finish
Oh,
it.
I guess.
He could have just said the opposite
Schmish,
of
schmish, possible.
Either way, if you want to hear what I feel, what me and Tony think about that film, you can find it on Letterboxd right now because we're allowed to talk socially. But full reviews on Wednesday. But Jimmy, you fucked up.
Hey, how did I? First of all, how did I fuck up, Mr. Only 2 tickets?
Man,
Why do you got to do that, Dave? You got to antagonize him like that.
whatever. You fucked up last time with Top
That's true.
Gun.
That's true. That's true. That's true. You know what? He likes to just like mess one of us up by having these 2
It's
tickets. So he
true.
just
It's
brings
true.
you to one big one, then me to the next
He
big
just
one.
plays us
and then-
against
yeah,
each other. That's
course.
all he
I love
does.
it.
He's a fucking puppeteer, man.
I
That's
love
fine.
it.
Well, you 2 chuckleheads were watching that. I was eating a shitload of sushi and I didn't have to pay a dime for it. So
Yes. Well,
I kind of won.
you did.
I won
You-
in my own way.
You let us know next Monday if you won or if you lost.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, Tony, give me a best
Yes.
or a movie. I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
A film.
A film.
film.
A film.
For my best, it is a Kevin Smith classic from the 90s. I watched Mallrats.
Oh, nice. How was that?
A lot better than I thought it was.
Okay.
I had seen it once, maybe in my lifetime. I picked up the special edition Happy Hand Job fucking Arrow
Yeah.
that came out. I was really excited for it. And I popped it in and I was genuinely surprised about this. It is hilarious, both horrifying because, it is Kevin Smith movies haven't really aged.
Correct.
But there was only one part that really bothered me, and it was the part at the end.
Was it with the chocolate covered pretzels?
That one was equally, I wouldn't say, just a bit lower, right? Jason Lee's character, like I have to say, like Jason Lee really hits it out of the park with this one. I know like the main character is kind of like Jason London. But like Jason Lee I just wanted more Jason Lee. Probably his best performance. He's definitely an underrated actor for sure. He's in his element in this movie. No, I'm talking about the
sailboat.
The sailboat. No, not the sailboat. The part with Ben Affleck at the end.
I haven't seen Mallrats in many, many years, maybe to like a decade and a half.
There's a character who is a 15-year-old girl who is posing as somebody much older. She is writing a book on sex experiences and she films her conquests, basically.
Oh, right.
And it just so happens that she sleeps with Ben Affleck. And the whole point of the movie is to throw Ben Affleck off his game and, steal the girl back from Ben Affleck. And the way he does it is in the mall, they basically just put this videotape on of Ben Affleck with the girl. And that's child pornography, just chilling in the mall for everybody to see. And then Ben Affleck goes, she's got to be at least 35. Come on, guys, look at her. Like,
that would have been icky then too.
Yeah.
What's he doing to Ben Affleck? Like, why is he doing this to Ben Affleck?
I don't know, man.
He's making him
why is Ben Affleck just
statutory
okay with it?
rape, and then the next one where he tries to turn a lesbian.
Yeah.
Bisexual. She's bisexual, but the idea is he's turning a lesbian.
The 90s were questionable at best.
Especially for Ben Affleck. Jesus.
The movie's still really, really funny. Obviously, I don't want to say look past it, but
understand when it was made.
It's very much a product of its time. It's very much, it encapsulates the 90s to a T.
Got it.
But it was fantastic. I love watching Kevin Smith movies and with Melissa, because Melissa doesn't really she's just starting out. I think we've just started the Kevin Smith lesson. So in our film school, but every time she sees Jay and Silent Bob, she always it always lights up her face. She's like, "Oh my God, it's those guys." Yes.
Did you put on Scream 3 for her?
No, not yet. We haven't got there yet.
Yeah, put Scream 3 on. She'll be like, why are they there?
Highly recommend watching Mallrats again. It's definitely a hell of a time.
Which version did you watch?
I watched the original.
The theatrical?
Theatrical.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I know on your Happy Hand Job edition, there's the theatrical, there's an extended, and there's a lot of deleted scenes, and there's the TV version, which I kind of want to watch.
The TV version.
The TV version would be fun.
Because I watched the TV version of RoboCop, and it was it was a goodie.
It's something.
It was a goodie.
Something.
Yeah. So definitely seek it out if you haven't seen it. Do you realize that it is a product of its time? And
I'm pretty sure statutory rape wasn't cool back then either.
It definitely wasn't cool back then. I'm not, like I said, I'm not condoning it. I'm not.
Well, it belly flopped at the box office, became a cult classic, and almost destroyed his career, ruined his trajectory of his career.
Definitely.
And statutory rape wasn't fine then either, but I guess there was less people talking on the internet about it.
There was less internet in general.
Yeah. Whatever. I had a blast.
No, I'm not holding it against. I'm not holding against you. I was just like, you're going on about product of its time. It's like,
well, it still is, but yes,
it's okay. I'm going home and watching Mallrats. All right.
There we go.
Dave, go.
Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret.
Oh, nice.
Which is the adaptation of the seminal Judy Blume novel from the 1970s.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful film. Very beautiful coming of age story
Nice.
that everyone can kind of see themselves in, even though a good chunk of it is about her like wanting her period. And, I can't really, I don't know what that's like, but I still empathize with her and all their trials and tribulations.
Sure.
So I want to find her name. Her name is Abby Ryder Fortson, and she was Paul Rudd's kid in Ant-Man.
Oh, okay.
The young one.
Yeah.
The young Cassie.
The young, yeah.
The young Cassie. That's her basic claim to fame, and she knocks this one out of the park. She's the lead.
Nice.
And it's just some of the things they're doing are like 1970-isms, and you're just like, oh. And then Rachel McAdams is her mom, and she's terrific. Kathy Bates is her grandmother,
sure.
and she's terrific.
Sure.
And fucking
Safdie's in it, isn't he?
Safdie's in it. Which one?
Safdie.
Benny Safdie is her dad. So I don't know in what world Benny Safdie landed fucking Rachel McAdams.
He did in this one.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. And there's a whole religious angle to it that I didn't really remember. Just like that they like, I believe she's Christian and he's Jewish. So they didn't, and they had all the marital strife of religion before they got married.
Sure.
And then it's kind of about her kind of like discovering religions and kind of like experiencing different things. So that was an interesting angle. I didn't love the ending, but the journey getting there.
Excellent.
One of the best films of the year, easily. And it's directed by Kelly Freeman Craig, who only directed one other film, and it's The Edge of 17, which is also an incredible coming of age film.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen Are You There, God, you should watch that, and you should definitely also watch Edge of 17.
Nice.
Definitely on my list.
I mean, it's recorded now for forever, but now I'm gonna try to remember this when Dave comes up with his top 10 list for the end of the year. Are You There, God is gonna be on there.
It's on there as of now.
Yeah, that's not the same.
It's not the same.
I know it's not the same, but there's a chance. There's a good chance it'll be there.
Excellent.
Best.
I rewatched in the month of June. I rewatched Zodiac.
Ooh, Fincher.
A little Fincher time. I was feeling slightly reminiscent of a time that Tony and I were in Paley Island, and that was one of the films that we watched. Why we chose a 3-hour David Fincher thing about the Zodiac killer, I don't know.
A 3-hour crime procedural where they don't even find the killer at the end. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
we were in high school. We were pretty pretentious back then.
But
I saw that movie theatrically.
Did you?
That was a journey.
Fuck, I bet it was. I don't know. It's a
2-for-1 pizza coupon.
Nice. Just why did that come with it?
I don't know, man. It was just something I remembered. Go.
All right.
Tell us more.
Fuck.
I really want to. I haven't seen it in a long time.
It is a fantastic procedural from both sides. You're kind of watching like law enforcement and like just the way. I think it's just a beautifully crafted like world of the late 60s into the 70s, and like the way that Fincher like shot all those different eras, because it takes place over decades, and dealing with a journalist who's becomes obsessive, and it becomes his whole personality, and then he falls off the grid. Robert Downey Jr.'s character, you have Jake Gyllenhaal, becomes his entire character and destroys his whole fucking life.
Because it kind of like focuses on different people for like different chunks of the movie, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Jake Gyllenhaal's character is kind of the through line through it. Like he's throughout all of it in all the different investigations. He's your way in. But yeah, his life falls to shambles. Everybody's life trying to figure out this fucking murder mystery, basically, which it is, because we still don't fucking really know who the Zodiac killer was.
We kind of know, but we kind of don't know.
And I mean, most of the evidence is there, but it's tough to watch too, because like, I mean, Fincher uses the evidence that he had at the time that he made it for who was probably the Zodiac killer. And it's pretty clear in this film that he's like, no, this guy did it. Like, it was this guy 100%. And then just kind of watching everybody try to solve this case, but always hitting a wall, whether it's the police, whether it's the fact that all these murders took place in multiple different jurisdictions, so nobody could talk to each other the right way because it was the 60s and police forces weren't connected that way.
Are they connected that way today? Isn't it still kind of isn't it still kind of a challenge?
Yes, but less so than, you know,
60s.
having to drive out to a specific police station because one of them doesn't have a fax machine. Like, I just, you know what, like, it's 3 hours, it doesn't feel it. You just are kind of enthralled in this and trying to figure out what's going to happen next and what clue are they going to uncover, and just you're seeing people basically pound the pavement to figure this one out, and it never really does, and it just kind of ends. And you're just kind of left with like, oh shit, like all these people died and no one had really any closure from it other than the Zodiac killer killed them.
And it's super creepy in certain parts.
With like and especially like how close they came at times where, you know, the cops just made one error. Someone, you know, at one point said, oh, it was a black man, and the cops stopped looking for the guy, and they clearly definitely drove past him on the street. They just ignored him because he was white. And like, yeah, it's frustrating. It's creepy.
Some things haven't changed, James.
Yeah. The scene in the park is still so fucking creepy.
I just remember there's a scene. Isn't there a scene with like Jake Gyllenhaal and Chloe Sevigny in the basement or something of someone's house?
Yes. It's no Chloe Sevigny. It's just Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, okay.
And the guy that he's following a lead, and he goes down to this basement, but the guy he's with is not the Zodiac killer.
But it's still fucking creepy
the way
as
that it's
shit.
shot, the way that every piece of it is pulling together. It's like, oh, holy fuck, like this is how you die, sort of thing.
Chloe is in the movie though, right?
Yes.
I'm right. Remember?
Yeah.
Is that the one he cut on Final Cut or Premiere?
He might have.
I think that was what one of the things. One of the trivia pieces was that he cut it on like Final Cut or Premiere.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I remember why I wanted to watch this movie. I saw a reel that someone was showing. Like, there's a scene basically right at the beginning. It's your introduction to. I think it's your introduction to Jake Gyllenhaal's character, and he's literally the only thing he has to do is toss his sketchbook onto the driver's seat, and it's like 87 takes. And it's just like, again. It is one shot. That's it. And just again. And I was just like, holy fuck. So then I watched it and it was like over in 2 seconds. And I'm like, the fuck? That was 87 shots to get that one?
That's Fincher, man.
Fucking Fincher.
Fucking Kubrick would have done double that.
Yeah. Man, he likes what he likes.
That's why he doesn't make
a perfect shot.
That's why he doesn't make as many films anymore.
Yeah.
Because it takes him so fucking long.
Yeah.
He has the new one coming out with what's his name? Fassi.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
The killer.
Yeah, that should be good. Just because we were talking about the Zodiac killer, isn't it Ted Cruz? I thought that was.
It's definitely Ted Cruz.
Okay, I thought I had read that. Okay,
it's definitely Ted Cruz. It's not Ted Cruz.
I thought it was John Carroll Lynch, like the actual, like not the guy he plays, like him actually.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Pretty sure I saw it on the internet that the Zodiac killer was him.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. That entire fuck, and like even the way that Fincher did it, where like each of the Zodiac killers was not the same person.
Yeah.
Like he cast 3 different actors for all the killings that he did, so that it was never the same. So you couldn't even figure it out from that.
Well, wouldn't they have been different descriptions anyway?
Basically.
So he cast to the description.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which was a brilliant move. But anyway, yeah, that scene in the park still is fucking crazy.
Nice.
Anyway, so good. Watch it again if you have 3 hours.
I would love to watch it again. I'll watch it in 2 sittings.
Probably 2 sittings.
No, straight through. It's not going to let you go. There's no easy break point in there for an intermission.
Sunday morning.
All right. Guess the babies are watching. Guess the baby's gonna watch Babies for Zodiac movie.
Babies for Zodiac.
Jesus.
It's not the most violent, to be honest.
It's true. It's not very violent.
It's just unsettling.
It's very unsettling. All right, Tony, go.
For Matt, I got a lesson. Less unsettling and more just like meh.
Sure.
Extraction 2.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Did you guys ever see Extraction 1?
I did.
You've seen it all.
Okay.
It is literally almost the carbon copy of the fucking first one. Goes through the same beats, same emotional character arcs.
But he's alive again, right?
He's alive again. Don't ask me how he managed to stay alive.
Spoilers for the first one.
Yeah, spoilers.
Yeah.
I will say though, that 20-minute long take that everyone's fucking blowing their load over on Twitter definitely there's a reason for it.
Okay.
It goes from like a prison to a train. At one point I blinked and I was just like, holy shit, like how the fuck did they do this? Like Melissa's just like, I'm trying to explain to her like that it still hasn't cut, and she's like, no, I'm pretty sure it cut. I'm like, I swear to you, we have not cut. And it's like been like 15 minutes and it's still fucking going. Yeah. Of course, you can see the points where like, you know, there's obviously the hidden cuts and the times where you can see like the cameras getting passed off and stuff. Yeah. But it's just so amazing. Like the action, I will say the action is dope. For sure, price of admission, Chris Hemsworth is definitely coming out as like a bona fide action star. Yeah. For that reason alone, I would say definitely watch it just to see that piece. Action movies these days, they are all starting to look the same, but the ones that actually, you know, put in the work, you can tell the labor of love that conceived this scene. So just don't go expecting much.
That's fair. You should you two both need to see Athena still.
Yes, definitely.
Because speaking of wonders, holy shit.
And I would say, I was seeing that whole 20-minute scene would rival the scene on the bridge in the first one, because that scene on the bridge was fucking amazing too. But I just wanted more from it. I wanted a little bit more. I wanted to step up its game, but it definitely didn't. And I was let down.
I'm sorry.
I was just, when you were talking about passing the camera off, I was thinking of the Raid 2 and Hardcore Henry.
Hardcore Henry,
where like, you know, like you see the behind the scenes stuff, but at the same time you can clearly see their hand. They're moving the camera through the car and it's going to some guy on the side.
Athena too, like it comes off a crane onto a guy on the back of a moped. Like it's fucking wild. Necessary.
Yeah. And I just like where action movies are going. Like I like the ones that try to be different.
Yeah.
Right. And just let them fight. Let them fight.
Please let people fight.
I think my favorite, just because you're talking let them fight. There's the oneer in Atomic Blonde. And there's like literally like a 30-second pause where they're both just stop breathing because you know that they've gone through hell and they're exhausted, and like she's just like just let me take a minute. And it's just like old action movies, they didn't take a minute. So it's just kind of like, it's more realistic to see them like struggling and being like, okay, let's go again.
Well, it was even like when you watch like the Raid, even like he just gets more and more exhausted as like his fighting has to change. It's not all like right at the beginning, it's all like super crazy, and then it's just getting like more and more tired as the farther he goes along.
And you can see like the fighters are just like leaning on each other because they're just so fucking tired.
Just waiting for the ref to get in the break.
But yeah, that was Extraction 2. Dave.
This will be a controversial take, not for you guys, but for the internet.
Sure.
My meh was Asteroid City, the new Wes Anderson joint.
Oh.
It
no spoilers, please.
No spoilers. Well, you can't really spoil it.
Dave, what was your first words to me when I asked you how this movie was?
I don't remember.
You said white people shenanigans.
It's very much white people shenanigans. Jeffrey Wright's there and Tony Revolori is there, but it's still white people shenanigans.
Sure.
Basically the idea is there's a science competition out in the desert at Asteroid City, and where like an asteroid had fallen, and then shenanigans ensue, and then they're kind of like stuck there, and they kind of play with that. And like there's all the kooky characters, they all have quirky dialogue. For some reason Scarlett Johansson goes full frontal, but it's all blurry, so you don't really, so you know she did it, but it's very blurry. It looks great because it's very like pastel looking.
Oh, nice.
And I love the stop motion that he employs here because it's really fun. There's a lot of like his signature droll humor.
Sure.
But it's just like, I was just sitting there and I was like, I'm so bored.
Oh.
Like it felt like what a Wes Anderson movie feels like to everyone else.
Yeah. Okay. To people who don't like Wes Anderson.
To people who don't like Wes Anderson or doesn't understand Wes Anderson's aesthetic.
Right. Yeah.
They're going to hate the shit out of this movie. And I was sitting there and I was just bored to tears. And I was like, oh, I guess this is what they think when I tell them to watch the Royal Tenenbaums or fucking when I'm sitting there with Eloise watching Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
Yeah. I get it.
But yeah, there's some fun moments. I really like Steve Carell in it. He's just like in the background doing goofy shit type thing, or like he like pops up because he's like the hotel manager.
Oh, okay.
So he like pops up, says something just like in the background, kind of serving people. But it was supposed to be Bill Murray.
Oh.
But Bill Murray had COVID.
Oh, shit.
So he recast him as Steve Carell. And I was just like, I can't imagine Bill Murray doing this.
Oh,
because Bill Murray wouldn't have that kind of inflection.
I wonder if he
kind of
changed
enthusiasm.
It
He might have.
From what was written before. Like he rewrote it for Steve, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. But yeah, I just couldn't see Bill Murray doing it. But Steve's really good. And I wanted more from Tom Hanks. I thought Tom Hanks would do more. Yeah. He doesn't do as much.
Well, I'm hopefully going to see it this week.
Yeah, let me know what you think.
Yeah, I will.
Do let me know what you think.
Yeah. Tony, you going to see it?
I don't know if I'm gonna get a chance to get out there. I'm not really sold on that. I'm kind of, the movies, you gotta be picky and choosy. And if Dave is saying it's a meh, then like it's gonna be on VOD soon.
Yeah, that's probably
I've seen every Wes Anderson movie theatrically since Darjeeling, so I got to keep the trend going. Got to keep it going. Speaking
of, I was literally going to talk about the Darjeeling Limited.
Meh?
No, not meh.
Okay.
Just
second best.
Absolutely. I would never classify that as a meh. I have a very, very, very special place in my heart for Darjeeling Limited.
Oh, I love that movie.
Underrated. Severely. Sure. I watched it again. So I think the memory that it's most attached to for me, the Darjeeling Limited anyway, is when I was on my school trip to Egypt. We were on an overnight train in Egypt going back to Cairo, and my friend and I watched the Darjeeling Limited, which felt very fitting to be on a train in a desert-ish place.
Did the train get lost?
The train did not get lost.
How did it get lost?
It's on rails.
You guys are so cool.
That line is stuck with me forever. It's amazing.
It's such a good line.
Anyway, and then so my
when they each save a kid, and he's like, mine didn't make it.
Mine didn't make it. It's also so good and so dark.
It's bleak line, but just the way he delivers, like, mine didn't make
it. Didn't make it. Oh man. Anyway, so my girlfriend went back home to India for 3 weeks in June. So I don't know. I got the idea to watch Darjeeling Limited because, I don't know. It's a train in India. I don't know. It vibed the right way in my brain. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it again. It's still very, very good.
That makes sense.
It's like everything. I forgot how little they're actually on the train. Like they are off that train way more than they are on it. And then like the train at the end is a completely different train to begin with. But yeah, like the way that it's shot, the camaraderie between Owen Wilson and Adrian Brody and I can't ever
Jason Schwartzman.
Sorry, yes, fantastic. You have to watch Hotel Chevalier before you watch it because it just is part of it. It just is the prologue to the entire movie. And I want a Hotel Chevalier robe so badly.
I was telling you yesterday, I want those Steve Zissou shoes. I want the Hotel Chevalier robe.
Buddy, I want the Zissou,
the beanie?
Not the beanie, the jumpsuit.
The jumpsuit?
The jumpsuit's what I want.
Yeah. There's so many like little things from Wes Anderson stuff that I want, but anyway. Oh, those luggage.
Oh yeah.
Luggages.
The monogrammed luggage.
So gorgeous.
I have vivid like images from that movie, like Brody like galloping like a gazelle to get on the train at the beginning.
Yeah.
Bill Murray's just
Bill Murray trying to get there. Yeah. That one's so good. And even the fact that it starts with Bill Murray in the cab and like
that's what I remember.
Has nothing to do with
Bill Murray. Yeah. And I remember it came out right after Owen Wilson tried to commit suicide. I was gonna say committed suicide. He's still with us. And then his character in that movie also tried. So it was like, oh, this is especially dark now.
Yeah. I also remember everything. The thing I always remember is Brendan and his alopecia.
Oh yeah.
It's good.
How'd it get lost? It's on
I'm
rails.
going home watching Darjeeling
Yeah,
Boys.
man, it's so good. It's just so good. Anyway,
You can pop in your Criterion or watch it on Disney Plus.
Actually, I don't have Darjeeling on Criterion because this chucklehead bought it on Blu-ray for himself, and then he was like,
do you
"Oh,
want my DVD?"
hey man, it's coming out on Criterion. You want this for free?"
Oh,
And then he
so
gave
you
me
have
his
the
Blu-ray, and
Got
so he
it.
can get the Criterion.
So get rid of it and just buy the Criterion.
I'm not like that, man. I don't need 600 fucking copies of Darjeeling Limited.
You kind of do.
No, I'm cool. I'm cool,
You
buddy.
kind of do.
So that wasn't a no to watching it on Blu-ray.
I'm definitely watching it on Blu-ray. You know me, man. If I have it on physical media, I'm not watching it on a streaming
Excellent.
service.
That's the way.
Fucking
to be.
bothers the shit out of me when I've come home. Melissa's watching Hunger Games for the 5th and millionth time, and she hasn't
We
cracked
own
her.
it.
We
Yeah.
own it. I
Yeah.
bought it for you. You haven't
Yeah.
cracked it once, but I
Yeah.
can tell you, you've watched it 6 times on fucking Netflix.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, it's annoying.
Why?
Nah,
Why
she-
the Hunger Games?
She getting really excited for the spinoff.
Oh, she's chomping at the bit.
Nice.
fucking Jason Schwartzman.
Jason Schwartzman.
Worst. I got a 2 for free, boys.
Oh boy.
And then also
Ooh.
a brand new segment on everyone's sidebar segment. Things that Tony
yes.
remembers being
Excellent. But we're not. Give it to me, Tone.
So I have 2 movies. Both I went through an extreme sport phase when I was a teenager.
Went through a lot of phases.
Yeah.
It
All right.
seems like.
You're really
So-
into BMX bikes?
No, I was into skateboarding, which
Yeah.
would explain this movie called Grind. It's
Oh,
a
yeah,
skateboarding comedy.
Grind, Yeah.
They actually have a character in that movie called named Sweet Lou,
Nice.
and you know what? I'm taking it back. Sweet Lou is definitely a predator in this movie, and my memory of Sweet Lou is my adorable cat.
Yeah.
There's really nothing to say about Grind. Like it's still like I still feel like I have nostalgia for it because it's a banging soundtrack. James, you would know
Yeah.
at least like 9 out of 10 songs on this
Sure.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
And it also featured a gentleman by the name of
Bryan Cranston.
definitely not Bryan Cranston. You guys won't know him. His name is Mike Vogel?
Oh, I know who Mike Vogel is.
Mike Vogel, right?
Yeah.
So I see this guy completely baby faced, like just such a little boy.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I think I've seen his ass somewhere. Lo and behold, I have seen his ass because
Nice.
he was in Sex Life on Netflix.
Nice.
It was very weird. Very weird.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
he was a boy in this, and then he turns into an adult with sex problems with his
Right,
wife, and it's
right,
just a
right.
very aqua taco situation.
Yeah.
The movie hasn't aged.
Sure.
2 out of the 4 main characters are definitely sex offenders.
Excellent.
And sexual predators.
Excellent.
The other one is Adam Brody. So
Great.
The other one is Adam Brody.
Great.
I'm really selling you guys on this.
Yeah,
and that is
in.
Grind.
Yeah, don't need to see that.
Don't need to see that. Trust me, you don't. And then I have another movie called Out Cold, which is a snowboarding movie.
You used to watch that religiously.
I used to watch it religiously. And you know what? I still have a little bit of nostalgia for that movie, but that movie is fucking bad.
Yeah.
Isn't Zach Galifianakis?
Zach
in that?
Galifianakis.
Zach Galifianakis.
Let me tell you about this one scene
Paint
in
a
this
picture.
fucking movie. Paint a picture for you. So Zach Galifianakis is the kind of character that gets drunk and blacks out.
Sure.
You know, the apple doesn't
So
fall.
like Zach
Zach Galifianakis, ladies and gentlemen. So what they do is they leave him in the forest, and it's snowing outside. They're in the middle. They're in Aspen or whatever
Yeah.
the fuck they
Yeah.
are. They pull his pants down. They put him in a bush, or they put him in a snowbank. They
Okay.
put salt on his balls,
Yeah.
and they just leave him there. So then he wakes up. He does wake up. He doesn't get hypothermia or anything. You know, his ass has been in the fucking cold for 12 hours. And then a polar bear comes and
Nice.
just starts licking his balls because there's salt all over it.
What's
and
a polar
Great.
bear doing in Aspen?
Yeah, it's not.
I'm not,
it's not
why
a
are you not
thing.
looking for logic, man?
It's not a thing.
It was a bear. It
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
a polar bear. It was a bear.
Okay.
It was a white bear. Jesus Christ, Dave. Anyway, so nothing happens.
Oh,
He just, he wakes up, he runs away, and he's like, "Oh, you rascals."
what the
Yeah,
fuck?
no, you're getting hypothermia. Your fucking balls would be gone, and that bear would literally annihilate you.
Wait a second. Did you just give Dave shit for pointing out logic holes in this movie?
He doesn't jizz on the bear, does he?
He doesn't jizz on the bear.
Okay.
Thank God.
Do you guys know who Lee Majors is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the big bad in this movie.
Wow.
I was literally just talking about Lee Majors yesterday
Nice.
with your Godfather.
that is fucked up. That is fucked up.
So it's just kind of because I was like, oh, of course nobody knows who fucking Lee Majors is, and then you're like, do you know who Lee Majors is?
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing about both these movies is they're actually snowboarding.
Yeah.
They're actually skateboarding.
Yeah.
It's not on a fucking green screen. Like some of Out Cold, you can tell some of it's a little bit on the green screen.
Yeah,
but for the most part, everyone is fucking snowboarding. Everyone's
Right.
doing the tricks. They're doing the tricks with the skateboarding too. Tony Hawk fucking shows up in Grind, and
That
there's
makes
a little side
Yeah.
there's a little side plot with Bam Margera because
Rough.
Preston Lacey's in that movie.
Yeah,
too.
half of fucking jackasses in Grind actually too.
That makes
That's funny.
sense.
so there's good things about both movies, but I do
like that they're actually doing the tricks, and it's not CGI nonsense that you see now where it's not realistic at all. It's completely realistic in these, and I appreciate it.
Oh man, Brian Posehn's in that movie.
Oh, I do like
Yeah.
Brian Posehn.
Yeah.
I love some
Is
Brian.
it
Posehn.
actually them like somebody's snowboarding?
Somebody's
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
but you know what? Like
Like I can't imagine Zach Galifianakis fucking
definitely not.
snowboarding.
So- definitely not.
Yeah,
But Jason London was a skateboarder, wasn't he? So like I could see him
Yeah, yeah,
snowboarding.
for
I can
sure.
see some of the
Yeah.
other
What a
characters
Jason
snowboard.
London track?
Yeah, I know. Just a double feature, Jason London.
For sure.
Nice.
But yeah, that was both movies. Definitely
Cool.
do not seek them out.
Will not.
I kind of want to watch Out Cold just because I haven't seen it in forever, and you used to watch it religiously.
Dave.
So my worst is like a top, I guess a top worst.
Okay.
One that I would,
Borderline meh.
it was a borderline man. It's About My Father
Oh.
with Bobby De Niro and
jeez.
Sebastian.
Okay, you and I are working on really good wavelengths today,
Apparently.
so this is gonna be fun. Anyway, carry on. About My
Yeah,
Father, yeah. Sebastian
Sebastian
Maniscalco.
That's him. And I don't know if it's autobiographical or not. Either way,
Who's to say?
Who's to say? So it's about he's trying to prepare to propose to his girlfriend, who's Leslie Bibb,
Oh, nice.
and they're both like well into their 40s type thing.
Mhm.
So it's nice age appropriate casting, but at the
Cool.
same time, they're kind of treating it like they're like in their late 20s.
Oh,
So
all right.
that was odd. Anyways, in order to get so he wants to get her parents' blessing, but he also wants to get his dead grandmother's ring to use to propose.
Yeah.
So he has to bring De Niro with him, and hilarity ensues.
Hilarity ensues. Sure.
But like the first, I would say it's like a 90-minute movie. The first 30 minutes is him basically like talking about growing up Italian
Sure.
and growing up with De Niro,
Sure.
and just like it's amazing. Just because like I'm the descendant of Italian immigrants, so it's all about like stuff they brought from the old country and like all the Italianisms, and I was just like, I know all of this. This speaks to me type thing, and then it kind of falls apart after that.
Mm.
He's just not a leading guy. I had also seen this movie. Sebastian's just not a leading man. Like I don't.
Yeah,
see him.
he's better as a
He's
supporting.
definitely better as a supporting for sure. He couldn't carry it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and De Niro's fine. I
Yeah,
didn't think De Niro was too bad.
Yeah,
And I kind of loved when they needed to do like a spritz before bed. I was like,
Oh
oh,
my
that's
God.
that's funny.
that's funny.
That's funny.
I laughed.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's good humor in it. There's some good bits, but like overall, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's really it.
That's
If you
it.
grew
Yeah,
up
that's it.
grew up Italian, you'll definitely
Yeah.
appreciate the Italianisms for sure.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it's not that memorable.
That's
Sorry.
what I would say. Yeah.
That's all right. At least it was not the worst thing ever.
No,
That's
it's not
fine.
the. But I think it also helps that I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
that we
you can
grew up
identify with some of it. Yes,
Italian,
yeah,
so we
yeah.
could identify with some of it. If
Yeah.
you didn't, like, you're gonna look at it and be like,
The fuck?
what are they talking about?
Yeah.
This is just
That's
shit.
fair. Yeah.
And the whole
Yeah.
bit with the peacock was weird.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. It's
All right.
strange.
All right. I'm still gonna check it out, but
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should.
All right.
You should.
so thematically on point. I watched The Machine.
The Machine.
The Machine.
I love that story so much.
The story's good.
I love it, and I'm so happy he gave us like the shortened version when we saw him live.
Yeah. Yeah. The story's good. As a joke in a stand-up special, it's good. On YouTube, it's good. As an entire movie, it's not that good. It's way too fun. I know Tony disagrees with me on this. Tony, I think, liked it more than I did, but I don't know. I feel like it has kind of some of the same problems of just like, I think Bert's fine, but I don't think he's a full-blown lead actor.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mark Hamill, anytime Mark Hamill's on screen,
circles, dude, circles
Going
around
circles around.
everyone.
yeah, he's
Rough.
fucking Mark Hamill. He's very good. It's way too fucking long.
And
It's-
Zoe Deutsch's ex-boyfriend is him as a
Jimmy
kid.
Tetro.
Jimmy Tetro.
Yeah.
I forgot what his name
who's
is.
who's doing his best, like Bert for sure. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
perfect casting right there.
Yeah. It works.
It works when he's being comedic.
Yeah.
Like when he's going for the laughs, when he's going for the jokes and everything, it works. But when he's trying to be dramatic, it just doesn't work. Doesn't work at all.
Did you know he was Bert Kreischer is like the inspiration for Van Wilder?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
tracks. That tracks, man.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So yeah, there's parts of this movie that are good. I just find that like it's an action comedy is what it's.
Is
And
it
it, like,
it's-
lean-
the whole idea is it's replaying the story, but it's also like a continuation, like a fictional continuation.
Like the aftermath.
It's the
kind of
aftermath.
thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like
Yeah, yeah.
years later,
Repercussions
the
of-
repercussions of
yeah.
his actions. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I'm
like
stealing from the
it's-
bar cart.
Yeah, and like it's interstitial in between, like so you're seeing the version of the actual story play out while dealing with the repercussions as he's trying to remember.
He's
things.
trying to piece together everything.
Oh, okay, I understand.
And there's
Yeah.
some good like fight choreography. I was telling this
Yeah.
to James. The fight choreography in it was like actually pretty good. Like he does pretty well, like fighting up against the Russian hitmen and stuff. Like it's entertaining to watch for sure. But like James said, it's about 20 minutes too long, and he doesn't really quite like work as a lead.
that and like it's a YouTube internet cult thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why would you make a big budget movie
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
that and think anyone's gonna go see it?
Yeah, it's
gonna do gangbusters on VOD for sure. It didn't do well. in
Not
theaters.
it'll probably do gangbusters when it hits Netflix.
yeah, for sure. That's where
When
That's
you can,
true.
when it'll be like, if you like all of these specials that are
You'll
already
like-
on
yeah, yeah,
Netflix,
yeah.
you'll
Yeah.
like this movie.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I just found like when it was trying to do a comedy, it was fine. But the thing is, like, if your comedy is just okay and the action's kind of just okay, it doesn't lead to a good enough thing. Like one is not overcompensating for the other, so it both ends up kind of being meh.
All right. Well, I'm glad I didn't see it theatrically then, because I was
Yeah.
going to.
Yeah, no, I checked it out on VOD, so you should too if you want to, or just wait a little bit longer for Netflix, and then you'll be okay.
All right. I owe it to Bird. I do love Bird.
There you go. So there's best, my worst.
Nice. Before Tony goes on,
Yeah.
I wanted to mention first, happy birthday to Tom Cruise, since we were talking about him earlier. It's his
Yeah,
61st
yeah.
birthday today.
Happy birthday.
And Tony's like, whoa. And the other thing I wanted to mention was, you remember we were talking about Maggie Moore's the last episode?
Yes.
And I said I didn't know when it was coming to Canada.
Yes.
I do know when it's coming to Canada.
Fantastic.
And it comes out, I guess, tomorrow, today, whenever you're listening to this. It comes
Yeah.
out on July 4th
Nice.
on digital rental and purchase. And it's called, in Canada, it's called Who Killed Maggie Moore's?
That's stupid.
Which I don't
It's a stupid
love.
title.
I don't love the
Yeah.
title, but at the same time, when it's just called Maggie Moore's, it's just kind of like, well, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Either way, it's coming to Canada.
Spooky.
Nice.
It's coming to Canada. There you go.
Hooray. Thanks, Dave.
Hooray.
Thanks for the update.
Is it time to get a little weird?
Yeah, man.
Have we not been getting weird this whole time?
We're always
We
weird.
go through this every episode.
Let's get some Shutter Minute.
Evil lurking deep inside, its darkness knows no limit. So listen closely if you dare. This is the Shudder Minute.
Tony, what do you got? Spooky.
I have the 2023 or 2020 remake, depending on how you look at it. The remake of Children of the Corn.
Oh, God.
It took 3 years to come out.
Took 3 years to come out. It premiered in Sarasota in 2020. It was one of the first movies that, fun fact, it was one of the first movies that was filmed and released during the pandemic.
Wow.
There is a reason why it took 3 years to hit, a wider audience.
Because it's bad?
This movie's a bag of dicks.
Oof. Have you seen the original?
I have not seen the original.
Okay, I have the Arrow. I've always wanted to watch it.
So yeah, I'm coming. I get the story. You know, Children of the Corn. Like you've seen the Simpsons fucking parodies, Family Guy parodies of this movie. Essentially, the kids are fed up with the parents. The parents are making some stupid decisions. They make a decision, and the kids don't like it. So the kids decide to kill their parents. And then there's like a little bit of a possessed like cornfield and like a cornfield monster. Spoiler alerts. And that's it. That's it. That's
cool.
the movie. That's the film.
Great.
Bag of dicks. Don't watch this movie, please. Please just don't do it. I watched it for you, so you don't have to.
Oh, okay.
It's directed by Kurt Wimmer. You will remember him from Equilibrium. He is a one-hit wonder because that movie was fantastic. This movie, not so fantastic. And that's my Shudder Minute.
Excellent.
Don't watch this movie.
Don't watch it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Watch the original. Watch the 80s one. At least you'll get some enjoyment because it's a cult classic.
Right. And not whatever the fuck this was.
And not whatever the fuck this was.
All right.
Rough.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Rough. You had been going on a good streak with Shudder.
Yeah,
I was going on a good streak. There is one actor in this movie that you guys will recognize. If you remember Winter Soldier, Frank Grillo.
Yeah.
If you remember his right-hand man.
Oh my God. Wow. Thank you. Yeah. That guy.
I was like, oh, Frank Grillo's in it? Of course I know Frank Grillo.
His right-hand man.
Frank Grillo's right-hand man in Winter Soldier.
God.
He has a very pivotal moment in that fucking elevator scene.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's the last guy to get punched in the face by Chris Evans.
Great.
He is in it.
Cool.
And he gets made into a scarecrow.
Oh, that's fun.
That's
Good for
great.
him.
And that's
it.
That's the Shudder Minute. Like,
Does anybody make out with the Scarecrow like they do in Pearl?
they do not.
No.
They do not.
No.
One girl gets ripped literally in half by this corn monster thing.
Cool.
Is it just like a giant like stalk of corn?
It's literally just like
It's just like half peeled and it's just corn.
Like for whatever reason, it's the CGI in this movie is just
Terrible.
It's dodgy.
just dodgy at best.
It's dodgy, janky. James likes janky.
He's a good
And
one.
this fucking corn stalk thing is just I don't get it.
You're selling me on it, dude. Like you're selling me on seeing this.
Absolutely.
Don't
So
see it.
don't
Fine.
see it.
We won't
Don't-
watch
don't
it.
do it.
Let's just skip ahead to the main event, or I guess the prologue to the main event.
Oh, it's all
It's all kind of
thematically the main.
it's all the
event.
same. We're going to talk about the new Indiana Jones film, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Woo!
Such an exciting title for such an exciting movie.
AKA My Dinner with Archimedes.
I love it.
Guess who's coming to dinner? It's Archimedes.
Before we get into that, the three of us watched the first four films.
Yeah.
Or sorry, I didn't watch Raiders because there's nothing we really need to say about Raiders that
There's
hasn't
nothing,
already
no.
been said. It's one of the it's one of the greatest films of all time.
Absolutely.
And
Aces.
you know, It got beat by Chariots of Fire, and that's
Sorry.
that's just unacceptable. Unacceptable.
That Vangelis score though.
Yes, that Vangelis score. You're right. I really want to get the Funko with Indiana Jones and the Boulder, but I don't know where to put it.
Yeah.
Tony, talk to me about Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
It's actually not that bad. It wasn't that bad. I remember like it just being like just okay, but like you can tell it's definitely the weakest out of the three.
Yeah. Out of the three. Okay.
Out of the three.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's horrifically racist.
I was just about to say it's real. It's real racist. That dinner scene is a lot more racist than I remember it being.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Melissa wanted to strangle the damsel.
Kate Capshaw.
She
really. The only thing I remember about that too is the Family Guy cutaway joke of ladies only here because she's humping director, which true.
Yeah, she's Mrs. Spielberg. So obviously he saw something in her. That said, she is kind of the hottest Indiana Jones girl.
Yeah,
you just want to strangle her the whole time.
Yeah,
beautiful Indiana Jones,
the most
girl.
Beautiful Indiana Jones girl.
But also, woman. I want to throttle her.
Okay.
You just want to shake her. You just want to shake her violently.
Shut up.
Short Round wasn't as annoying as I remember. He's he actually comes off very endearing and very
charming.
Like, charming.
I think that's also because we all love Ki Hui Kwan.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, and he's also not as annoying as Willie.
Yes. Yes. On a scale of 1 to Willie, he's not.
But there are so many memorable scenes in that. There's the shootout in the nightclub. There's the
Club Obi-Wan,
right? There's the mine chase.
Sure.
The chase,
the mine car chase.
The mine car chase is awesome.
So fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, and even the I even like some of like the intensity when he's doing like Kalima and like, he's trying to save Willie and Willie's like fucking, like on the verge of like being
Kalima is still a lot of fun.
Of course Kalima.
It's still Kalima, people.
I used to do that to Alyssa.
Yeah.
I used to just be like Kalima. And then the one time, I don't know, I think we were just watching part of it and it was that part. And she just like turned to me. She's like, is that where you got that? Is that what you want to do to me?
Kalima.
And like when they jump off the airplane and they're like going down the hill into the right into the water and stuff. Like there's so many memorable.
It's silly.
It's silly, but it's still memorable.
That part's fun.
We're crashing.
That Family Guy's Family Guy.
That and there's just a whole lot of like, just like her interacting with like weird animals, insects, and you're like
the scene in the catacombs with like the locusts and stuff, and like her reactions. Jesus,
and
Christ.
when she's like trying to like do her clothes, and she pulls up a bat for some reason.
It's silly,
so
but
silly.
you know what? I remember back in the day not liking it as much, but you know what? I've grown to appreciate Temple of Doom.
Yeah. I feel like I liked it more and don't like it as much now.
That
I've gone
makes
the
sense.
opposite way on it.
Opposite way.
Yeah.
There's just like a 40-minute chunk where nothing's happening.
Nothing happens.
Yeah.
Nothing happens. You find out that where the village, like all the kids are gone.
Yeah.
And then they're going and they're walking.
Yeah.
And they're walking. And they're
Apparently-
walking. And then they do the fucking dinner thing. And the prime minister's there, and he's just a fucking little weasel. And Indiana Jones isn't reacting to any of the crazy foods they're throwing in front of him.
Apparently, like this movie is so dark and bleak because both Lucas and Spielberg were both going through divorces at the same time.
That
And
makes
like
sense.
this is the story that they came up with for it, just because they were just both in a bad spot. And
It scared the shit out of kids.
yeah,
And coupled with Gremlins, got the MPAA to create a PG-13.
yeah. This one was a lot, but yeah, I don't know. There's there's fun moments, but there's so much of this that is just like either boring as fuck or just annoying as hell. Like it's.
I'm with Tony. Like I remember not liking it as much, and I was watching. I was like, this isn't half bad. Oh, it's horribly racist. This isn't. It's horribly. This is not bad.
Okay, yeah.
And then you're just like, oh, this is pretty.
It's peaks and valleys.
It's a lot of peaks and valleys, but the peaks are fun as shit.
Yeah.
And fucking I don't know why, guys, but I legitimately almost bought a Hot Toys of Mola Ram.
Oh my God.
Hot Toys
Of course you did.
You're the worst.
Because I just needed that.
Yeah.
And I could have just had them out like this, or like have the
Okay,
hard
that's fucking cool. Okay. That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, so I liked it more too.
Sure.
But it is very much peaks and valleys.
Yeah. So Last Crusade.
Still a banger.
Yep. It's fun.
I love it. I think that's the first one we saw. I genuinely think it's the first one we saw.
It's the one we've seen the most, for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
It's the most family friendly.
That's true.
Just in so far as it is a family.
I don't remember how many times I've seen it in its fullest, because when I watched it again, I don't remember certain scenes. And I'm just like, I'm pretty sure I haven't seen this from start to finish.
Yeah, maybe.
I remember the ending vividly.
The ending
Yes.
is a picture perfect. Like when you talk about greatest shots of cinema.
Oh, sorry. I'm talking about the third act, the whole third act.
The whole third act.
Okay.
When they're in the temple.
In the temple.
That's an old time. That's an old timer.
That's awesome.
And then, and then you can continue your.
Yeah.
When you're talking about greatest shots of cinema history, the
final shot.
The final shot of them just riding off into the sunset. Like you could not do a better ending.
Yeah. Do you notice where the horizon was?
Yep.
Sorry, because that's not all I can think about now that fucking Spielberg put that in his own fucking autobiographical movie.
But like even just like, and even the lead up when you got the score, this fucking score in Indiana Jones. Oh my God. Just
yeah. When the score starts swelling,
when the score starts going in, they start just saying, like, they're just saying their little bits and they're riding out like, oh,
and you get
perfection.
River Phoenix.
The fucking beginning too. That's an all timer too.
And that beginning is very concise. I'm gonna come back to this.
Yeah.
It's so concise. It's really exciting.
Yeah.
It gives you the origin of his scar on his face. Cool. It's
I guess we needed that.
A lot better than the origin of Han Solo's name. Yeah. But God. It's just, River Phoenix kills it.
Yeah.
Kills it.
So
and then he goes to talk to Connery, and you don't see Connery.
Correct.
You don't see, you hear him, but you don't see him.
Correct.
Again, coming back to this.
Yes.
And then just like he gets it afterwards, and it's just very concise. Very concise, and then it gets going from there. And I think that's really, really well done. And
agreed.
Just, it says a lot. Because again, I'm going to come back to this.
Yes.
But I was telling you, I didn't realize that they both banged Elsa.
They sure did.
I did not realize that. when they're giving each other, when they bust each other's chops over it, I was like, I didn't realize this was a thing. That was the scene I didn't remember. Was them on the what the fuck is that? Hot air balloon? What the fuck is it? Or gondola?
On the Zeppelin.
Zeppelin. I was thinking Hindenburg,
which was a Zeppelin.
Yeah. And fucking, I remembered I had a laugh when he gets Hitler's signature.
That was funny.
Book burning.
Yeah, that was funny. Connery was aces in this movie. Like it's one of my favorite Connery performances. It's just it moves so
Junior.
It moves so quickly.
Yeah,
and like it's not. I had always said that it was the best. It was the best one, but after rewatching it, I've realized that Raiders is you can't touch.
You can't touch it. Yeah,
but this is a close second. This is a very close second, and it's still a very memorable movie, very strong movie. And
I love all the action beats.
Yeah,
yes, and it's great.
And I would say it is my favorite. It's not the best one, but it is my favorite Indiana Jones.
No, that's fair.
For sure.
That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fair. But yeah, that ending is perfect.
Yeah. Perfect.
And it kind of just. He rides off into the sunset. We don't need to see him again.
We don't need anything to follow on.
It's okay. But they followed it up with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which Tony and I saw on opening night.
Oh, good for you
back
guys.
in 2008. Fuck. And I believe that was the first and only time I saw it prior to yesterday.
Yeah, me too.
I'm pretty sure I saw that theatrically as well, and that when I rewatched it, that was the first time I rewatched it since then.
Yeah. Have you guys? Did you guys see any other ones theatrically? Because I've seen Raiders. I think you came with me to Raiders.
No, I haven't.
Okay, because we saw Raiders.
Nice.
Yeah. If that goes 35 millimeter, we need to see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jimmy, speak. about
Crystal
Kingdom of
Skull?
the Crystal Skull.
It's not nearly as bad as I remember it being.
I thought it was good the first time I saw it, and then
I didn't like it back then.
I remember enjoying it.
But it was not nearly as bad as I remember. There's still absolutely bonkers moments in it that make no fucking sense, including whatever the fuck the fucking prairie dog shit was that they kept cutting to for no particular reason.
Nice marmot.
It's just marmots. I don't. What are they there for?
I cringed every time they were on screen.
Right. The fridge was not nearly half as bad. Kate Blanchett's wandering accent was
Yeah, that was
something.
But her haircut though.
Her haircut great. Accent not great.
During the Nuketown scene, Melissa's like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he be covered in radiation?
Absolutely.
Well, they wash it off.
No.
And he was in a lead-lined fridge.
Yeah.
So they do make a clear call out that he's hopping into a lead-lined fridge. It's silly.
It's
And
There's
he
a lot of-
also
Tony, he
drank
went-
the water in the last movie, so he should be immortal.
Yeah. And Tony, he
but
also
who's gonna remember that?
If you watch Indiana Jones, you're supposed to remember.
And
just like they fucking drive by the Ark of the Covenant, and it's like, remember this? Remember this?
Yeah.
Also, also in Temple of Doom, he went down a mountain, over a waterfall, down White Water Rapids, and was fine.
He just walked it off.
Yeah.
He just shook it off.
And he was possessed.
dust-
and he had
dust
a
some
voodoo.
dirt.
If there is anybody that can survive,
We're coming back to the voodoo.
if there's anybody, the voodoo. If there's anybody that can survive a nuclear blast in a lead-lined fridge, it is Indiana Jones.
Indiana
He's the
Jones.
only one that
It's
would
true.
be able to walk it off afterwards and be perfectly fine with a little
Perfectly
scrub
okay.
down. Even though
Yeah.
then he got accused of being a commie, so that's
And
fine.
then they don't go back to it.
And then they never bring that back up again.
His lawyer, who's a piece of shit and lost,
Yeah.
fucking shows up. He's like, he's not a commie. He's a war hero.
Yeah.
And then
Hey,
we
you
don't.
don't-
And then we'll never
and
talk
then we
about
never
it again.
Talk about it again. What's up?
That's Caleb from the OC.
Yeah, I know. He's a piece of shit on Lost too. He's Penny's dad on Lost.
Oh, Christ.
But that opening scene goes on forever.
Yep.
And fucking, I love Ray Winstone, but he's fucking useless in this movie. Why
Yeah.
is he there?
I don't know.
I feel like the only reason he's there is to explain how Kate Blanchett finds them at the end.
Oh,
That's
sure.
literally
Yeah.
the only
Yeah.
reason he's there. Because when he fucking dies at the end, he's just like, whatever. It's
Yeah.
just so
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Also, when he first pops up on screen, you just know automatically. Oh, he's gonna fuck. He's gonna fucking.
He's gonna- yeah,
He's
of
gonna.
course.
He
Of course.
like he just
You don't
has
bring
one of those.
Ray Winstone into things if you're
And
not
he looks
gonna.
like such a smug fuck
Yeah.
too. Like he's definitely selling out Indy
Yeah. Constantly.
Constantly.
Over and over again.
constantly.
But Shia's punching above his weight class, and
Yeah.
you can see he's struggling. And I got tired of him coming and saying, "I'm like, I get it. I get
he's
it.
a
Oh,
When he,
greaser, I
when he
know.
fucking dips his comb into the Coke and starts like, Jesus Christ, guys.
Yeah.
But I do like that motorcycle chase is kind of fun
For
Yeah.
sure.
And then when I don't know if you guys knew this, I found this out after when he stops in the library and he talks to the
Yeah.
student. Do you know
Yeah.
who the student is?
No.
Chet Hanks.
Oh, shit. Cool. Way to go, Chet.
I laughed at that part. That was funny.
Like there's some fun parts in it.
Yeah.
it still has it, and we're gonna come back to this too. It still has the Indiana charm, the Indiana Jones charm. Like,
That's fair.
Yeah, because he has charm.
yeah, he has charm. He's still witty. It still feels like an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
That's all fair.
Yeah.
And yeah, there is some whimsy to it and a lot of goofiness. Like
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
the
Way
alien
too much
thing is a
goofy.
little too goofy.
Yeah.
Them in the quicksand was fucking
Goofy.
goofy.
Yeah.
Oh God, what else? Him getting like hypnotized by the fucking crystal skull
Yeah.
was goofy. John Hurt, whatever the fuck he's doing.
Goofy.
I think the problem I had was that there's too much CGI.
Oh, yeah. There's a
And
lot.
it's almost jarring because there's so much green screen too, and it's
Because like the three movies, like some of it is like miniatures or
Yeah.
like it's stunt. Like you can tell when it's the stunt guy and not
Yeah,
Harrison
yeah.
Ford.
Yeah.
But they're tangible. You can see it. You can feel it.
Yeah.
And in this one, there's just so much CGI bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're just like, it takes you right out of it.
That
Absolutely.
chase in the jungle in particular.
Oh fuck yeah, that's horrible.
It's
Even with
bad.
that monkeys notwithstanding.
I wasn't even gonna bring up the
it's
monkeys
just
because
bad.
the monkeys we don't need to talk about the monkeys, but like just the scene and how it's it's so
it's bad.
It's bad.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
And then the fucking fire ant thing.
and then the fire ant thing, like
it's bad.
a lot of bad decisions.
Yep.
Yeah.
All for aliens.
And that too, like Indiana Jones isn't sci-fi like
It's
this.
kind of sciencey. Like the end of Arc of Raiders is very science fiction tone.
But not like to an
it's
not
more
to an
the aliens.
extraterrestrial beyond this Earth.
Raiders and Last Crusade, even Temple of Doom deal more with like the mystical, whereas this does straight up sci-fi,
Sci-fi.
Yeah.
which we'll talk about as well in a second.
Yeah. But I was saying about the CGI bullshit. That scene where they're falling and then they land on the pillars and then they got to run down. Like that's pretty exciting. Like there are exciting moments.
There's good moments in
and
it.
Indiana
for sure.
Jones is great. Harrison Ford's great, and fucking Karen Allen's pretty good in this.
Yeah.
Kate Blanchett, when she's not, her accent isn't going in and out. She's menacing enough, but it's a jarring change of pace.
Yep.
And it's just, and it's not as bad as people say it is. It's just not very good.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's radically different. It doesn't like when you put the original three up against each other, they all have that same look. They all have that same feel, right?
Yeah.
When you get to Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, it's radically fucking different. It doesn't.
Well, it's also supposed to be 20 years later.
I know it. I know it's supposed to be 20 years later, Dave. But what I'm trying to say is that like it's not. It doesn't hold up against the original three for sure.
You want to know why?
I know why.
Because he's not punching Nazis. That's
Obviously.
exactly why. He's going
He's
against
tired of Nazis. They went with the commies, and it just doesn't work.
No,
doesn't
it
work
doesn't
with the
work.
commies.
Doesn't work.
So it's a good segue
Mhm.
It's a good segue.
because the Nazis are back.
The Nazis are back.
Dial of Destiny ramps up, and we are in primo Nazi territory again. Right away.
Right away.
He's ready to punch some Nazis.
That scene isn't too bad, but I was mentioning this because I was talking about Last Crusade, how it's very like concise.
Yeah.
I feel like the scene at the beginning of this movie goes on and on forever.
And on and on.
And, like, you don't
And it
need
looks like he looks like shit.
when it's dark, it's not too
But also,
bad.
it's oppressively dark.
Yeah,
The whole
like,
fucking
there is-
movie is pretty fucking dark.
Well, yeah, that's because they filmed it dark. They used the fucking Marvel cameras.
Yeah.
But-
yeah.
If you didn't have the beginning part, like if you just got like him going onto the train, if you skip that like 20-minute bit, even though it has that fun bit with the bomb, which I liked.
Yeah.
If you skip that,
Fuck, just start it there.
like if you skip all of this nonsense and just
Yeah.
start him on the train, it would have gone by so much faster, and you would have had less bloat and less time for him to look bad.
Bad.
Yeah.
And also, there was points where like I was like, okay, the de-aging's okay here, but then he would speak and I'm like, but that's just now Harrison Ford. Like he doesn't even like the voice doesn't match the face anymore.
Depending on how he turned.
Yeah.
Like
For
when
sure. Yeah,
depending on how the camera was on him, it did look some because I kept trying
yeah.
to pay attention for it, but like when he turns, when he's moving and stuff, it looks like a video game. Man.
Yeah.
It's better than The Irishman.
Yes.
All right. Like it looks like Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like whatever the fuck
Plastic
they did to
doll.
Joe Pesci in that movie.
For me it was the voice that threw me because like
Yeah.
every time he would speak, I'm like, oh, that's, and you know what? It wasn't every time he would speak because I think they also used some bits from other things because his voice would be different depending on the line that he was saying. But it felt like if they had a line that they could use, like a catchphrase or something that he said before, then they used it. And so he sounded like young Harrison Ford. And then when they needed a new line, they just used Harrison Ford and didn't do any like vocal matching to try to like fit it back. It just sounded like, what is he, like 70 something?
Yeah, I think he's 80.
80 something Harrison
80 or
Ford.
81,
Like,
yeah.
what?
I just, again, going back to Crusade, you didn't see Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Like he sounded like what Sean Connery sounds like, whatever. You didn't see him.
Yeah.
And in this, I think you could have obscured Indy enough that you don't see him.
Yeah.
So you don't get this video game effect.
Yeah.
There's probably a different way that they could have done
There's
this.
definitely a different way they could have done it, and they could have cut it differently, and it definitely should have been a lot shorter.
A lot shorter.
Like there's some sure, there's
Fuck,
some
this
fun.
movie's long enough.
There's some
like,
fun parts to this prologue scene, but it goes on and on forever. And I don't give
on.
And like the MacGuffin of the Dial of Destiny, like it's just not exciting.
No, I did like that they at that moment, since we're talking about, well, we had a bait and switch in the MacGuffins because we were talking about the Jesus Lance, as I'll call it.
Oh yeah.
And then it turns out to be a fake, which I was like, oh, but like you went from. See, again, we could have gone to something that was, again, hearkening back maybe to like the first three, where because Raiders and Last Crusade were both like Christian iconography,
like religious artifacts.
But it was mysticism.
Yeah,
we could have gone mysticism. No. We had to go with Archimedes' Dial of Destiny.
Which is
fucking time travel.
Yeah.
Which is time travel, which is science fiction.
Which is science fiction.
Yeah, and then it gets going, like the parade chase.
That was
good
exciting.
in parts. It's exciting, but it's very CGI'd.
Yep.
And
Harrison Ford is ripped and has cum gutters.
Oh yeah.
Not something I was anticipating seeing today.
Oh yeah.
What?
When he wakes up
and he's putting his shirt on, he's got his fucking abs, he's got the fucking cum gutters leading down. I'm like, you're 80. What are you doing?
Hey man, it's Harrison Ford.
Good for him.
He
can get it.
Good for him. But yeah, there was just like, and then it gets going, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge shows up.
Yeah. She was so fucking annoying.
And I thought she was fine.
Yeah.
I thought she
didn't do anything for me.
No, she didn't.
Yeah. And neither did the kid didn't really do anything.
Do anything for me either. But like, I get the introduction to his scene. Oh, he's learning to fly a plane. Wonder if that's going to come in handy. Fuck.
But that that chase scene.
The tuk-tuk chase?
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
And like, yeah, it's a little CGI, but it still looks a lot more real than everything else in the movie.
Yeah.
And like Mangold shoots the hell out of that scene.
Yes,
and I knew he would because he did Ford v Ferrari.
Yeah.
And Ford v Ferrari looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. There was, but talking about Mangold, I think he did like a pretty good job, but there's something missing.
Yeah, it's not Spielberg.
It's not Spielberg.
And it doesn't have, like, he's still charming. It's still fun to see Indiana Jones being Indiana Jones, but it doesn't have like the charm, the wit, the winking sense of humor.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like
the way Spielberg just chooses to frame things or shoot things. Like,
you can
missing.
you feel it's different. It's a different guy shooting it.
Absolutely.
It feels different. And it's just another epilogue that we didn't need.
Nope. Didn't need it.
We already had we had the perfect ending, and they redid it, and then they redid it again.
I also
go
ahead. No, you go.
No, please go.
Okay. What I was also going to say is the first four, they're all like a brisk 2 hours. They're running gun, like they're literally excited. We're going, we're rocking, we're fucking rolling.
Yeah.
This movie decides to be half an hour longer than the other four, and you fucking feel it.
Yeah, you do.
A lot of exposition.
I do not know how you saw this at 10 o'clock. Me and James saw this at fucking 11:30 in the morning, and I wanted it to be over.
Yeah.
Why do you think I did it in D-Box, man? The D-Box helped.
Seriously. But you could probably feel the fucking runtime when the D-Box wasn't going, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure. Like, it was just so bloated and like all this exposition. Yeah. I'm just like, what the fuck is happening?
Fucking Boyd Holbrook,
right?
Yeah,
he just shoots people. He just doesn't ask. He's like, don't ask questions kind of guy. He just shoots everybody.
And he has those American stupid veneers.
Yeah. An American boy that's just all about Nazism. All right.
And that big guy, he's going to do something crazy.
Nope.
Does nothing.
Nope.
Does nothing.
Dies underwater.
It doesn't feel, he went out like a fucking bitch. Spoiler alert, everybody.
Yeah. I don't feel bad spoiling that part.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel, it doesn't feel like an Indiana Jones movie at all.
What do you think it feels like?
A James Mangold movie.
it feels like it wants to be indie, but it also wants to be like a new age indie kind of thing. Like I can see what they're going for, where you make a movie about an Indiana Jones that's out of his element, out of his time.
Yeah.
Like he's an old soul in a new world. I get all that. But it's just missing that wonder. It's missing, like, when you're watching Raiders, when you're watching Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, there's that wonder. There's that little kid feeling that you get.
Even Crystal Skull to a point.
Even Crystal Skull to a point. You get that little kid feeling like you're watching this for the first time and you're like, holy shit, what am I watching?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
With this one, it's like dead. It's like there's no soul, there's no heart. There's nothing keeping you here.
Yep.
It's just fucking boring, and it's
fucking
literally
forgettable.
It's so forgettable, and it was made just to capitalize on Indiana Jones.
Yep.
Right? And they're saying it's the last hoorah for fucking Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford had his last hoorah in '89 with Last Crusade.
Yeah.
That was your perfect fucking
You didn't
moment.
need to do this again.
You didn't need to do it. You didn't need it. And it has no reason. It has no reason to exist.
And they try so hard to like rewrite the fourth one.
Yeah.
And like fucking get like throw more to go with Marion and the one throwaway line about what happened with Mutt. And you're just like, okay. And there was a Slash Film article. I know Tony loves quoting Slash Film. It'll make you really feel bad for Mutt. It's like, no,
fuck that article.
No, it doesn't.
Nope.
It's just a throwaway line.
Yeah, it does nothing for me.
It does, like, it builds a little pathos for Indiana Jones, but like,
does nothing.
He's like a hardened, grizzled individual, and he's CGI'd half the time.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm also like this. I might be wrong, but the other 4, did they have like a title card at the beginning?
Yes.
Was it always just plain black?
The plain white and black, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Raiders font.
Yeah.
I saw an article later, that showed the fonts, and then I paid attention specifically. The only one that doesn't use the white and black, like very like generic typeface, is Temple of Doom.
Oh,
because they're doing the big anything goes line,
right, and
it shows the title behind her as she's dancing.
Oh, it's okay. Because I don't know, even when that title came on screen, I was like, oh man, this already feels drab and bleh. But that was also because the action that was happening behind it was also drab and kind of bleh.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Much like most of this movie was drab and kind of bleh.
I was sitting there, and outside of your tuk-tuk scene, which I really like that scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, Uncharted did this better.
Yeah.
That's what it felt. I literally was just like, this feels like Uncharted.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate that movie.
At least they didn't go to a Papa John's.
Oh, thank Christ.
I was talking more the video games, not the movie.
Yeah. No, but even
yes, the movie was a little more exciting.
That's what it kept reminding me of when I was watching it. I'm like, this feels like Uncharted. This doesn't feel like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, the moments where they were doing like the most Indiana Jonesing, like, you know, solving puzzles and like artifact hunting, felt great.
Yeah,
it's a lot of everything else that did not feel great.
Yeah, all the stuff that was like kind of in between in the margins.
Yeah.
Not great. And yeah, the beginning is action packed, but it's also, it looks weird.
Yep.
Looks like shit.
And it's very CGI to all heaven.
Yeah.
So
what did you guys think of Mads?
I thought he was underused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was underutilized. I thought he should have been doing so much more.
He should have been more menacing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that scene on the train where he gets smacked.
Yeah.
And then when he comes up in present day, like nothing had happened to him.
Yeah. No repercussions.
Honey, you got smacked pretty hard.
Yeah.
Half your face would be missing.
Yeah.
Or at least like,
or he'd have a scar.
Or he had a scar. Or, broken eye socket. Yeah. But like, whatever.
No. Like he wouldn't need the Dial of Destiny because it probably would have hit him back into the 20s.
Yeah, fuck, that pipe hit was hard.
I was a little let down. I was kind of hyped when they were like, "Oh, we got Mads Mikkelsen for the villain." I'm like, "Oh shit, he's gonna be."
Well, Mads is always great as an actor. Just they didn't use him enough.
They didn't use him enough.
I like that they brought back Gimli with his
Salah.
Yeah. Yeah, I did like that they brought Salah back. So
Yeah,
it was kind of fun. And then Antonio Banderas shows up.
Yeah.
And
That was funny.
he like leaves the movie just as quickly. And you're just like, what the
Okay.
fuck was this for?
Okay.
This could have been literally anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
That scene was kind of cool too, with them going underwater. But that goes with you when they're doing like the tomb raiding and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up until like the eels or whatever the fuck they are that
Oh
look
my
like
God,
snakes.
yeah, of course
and
they
he
have to
freaks
put
out.
fucking something to do with snakes in there. Of course.
Of course.
Could not. You had to.
It was a big letdown.
It was like a wet fart.
Yeah.
Not even a wet fart, just like
A whimper.
a whimper.
Yeah.
And just like you're like, whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't exciting enough. And like Tony said, it doesn't have a reason to exist.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Like they didn't need to make the last one, but it ended on a happy note
Yeah.
and there wasn't anything left to say.
Nope.
Why did we need to go back and say something else again?
Yeah.
And if they wanted to say something else again, they should have done it maybe 10 years ago
Yeah.
at least, not 15 years.
But also, again, they had a.
They had problems getting this to the screen originally, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's taken a while.
But
Yeah.
there was I don't know, there was also a moment in this where they could have ended everything and just left it alone, and they didn't.
Yeah. And just fine. Do you want to get into the ending? Because I think you guys want us to talk about the ending.
I couldn't care less.
No?
I
Okay.
mean,
Because I have a reaction. I wanna
yeah,
Sorry,
let's
we ringing
do it,
the- we
'cause I
ringing
have
the
some
spoiler bell?
things,
yeah. Ring the bell, Tom.
Yeah, okay.
When they ripped through time, I
Yeah.
was sitting there, and at that point, I was just like, I had enough, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
I was
Are
already
you
I was
fucking
checked,
actual
checked
fuck?
out. I was
Are
checked
you-
out.
Are you
Yeah.
fucking kidding me right now?
Yeah. And
what
then
the hell is this?
and then even that was so, like they're heading towards the rift in time, and I'm like, all right, this could be fun. Are they actually going to go back in time? And then when Indiana's like, he didn't know about fucking plate tectonics, like he didn't know that things would shift, like you're on the wrong coordinates, sort of thing. And then later on, they're like,
and he's
no.
laughing at them.
Yeah.
And then like they meet Archimedes, and he's like, oh no, this is exactly where you were going to end up. Like there was no alternative. You were only coming back to this exact date. There was no other way through. And I was like, what? Like,
Yeah. Well, when you see Archimedes in his tomb, he has the watch.
yes, yeah, which also fun.
Yeah.
Um,
It's just kind of, again, he gets shot. He drank the water.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be fine.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
does it look like he's
But-
dying? And then at the end, this is where I need to be.
I was literally about to
Yeah.
say, what do you guys think about him wanting to stay back then?
well,
like,
that's,
give me
you
a
know what?
fucking
Fine.
break.
Stay back there. End it. Just go. That's fine. Leave him in fucking 213 BC. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And just,
That's how you're gonna end the Indiana Jones franchise.
Absolutely.
He gets,
Kill it.
He gets
Kill it dead.
the ending we got wasn't much better than
It's
that.
true. It's true. But he ended up with Marion. So like, come on, he was always supposed to be with
Whatever.
Marion.
Mm.
It still was kind of lame.
Yeah, I'll give you.
It was
that.
a very lame ending. And
Yeah.
like,
It was a wet fart of an ending.
and like they were clearly trying to build something up for Phoebe, and then she just kind of like puts on her own hat
Yeah.
and then leaves. And it's like, and why the fuck was Salah there? What the hell did he need
Came
to be there
over for ice cream. I don't
What did he
know,
need to
like-
be there for?
I don't care. I love Salah. He can be. I wanted more Salah. To be honest
It's
with
just, and fucking Mads, like he just dies,
Yeah.
and Boyd Holbrook just dies.
They're like holding hands. They're holding hands.
Toby Jones dead off screen.
Like it's just, there's so much to it that you're just like, why did you make these decisions?
Also, what was like this entire thing with like I don't know. I felt like they set up the CIA agent who's Shawnette, who looked
yeah.
great. Like fit the time period, excellent. Like costume work was great in it, and
Yeah.
then they just killed her.
And they just kill her.
Bye. No need for you.
Yeah.
And the last word she hears is his fucking real name. Like,
Oh, spooky.
God.
And then he has that one bit with the black waiter,
Oh yes,
and he's just like, it's supposed to be menacing.
you didn't win the war.
and
Adolf
like
just
horrifically
lost. Yeah.
and like it's meant to be racist type thing, but it's just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Like I felt just like the waiter who's just like, what's this white guy going on about? I don't fucking care. Give me my tip and I'll leave.
I feel like if they actually followed that thread to be more menacing, like they actually, like if the time rift worked and they ended up back in 1939 Poland, and then Indiana Jones had to like stop Jürgen Voller, that probably would have been a more exciting conclusion than going back to 213 BC so that Harrison Ford can come face to face with Archimedes.
Yeah. We gotta take down their dragons.
Yeah,
and that random guy who's in the other plane with the kid.
Yeah. And let's also talk about for a moment that apparently Harrison Ford and Phoebe Waller-Bridge can speak ancient Greek. Like 213 BC ancient Greek? Like I don't think the languages are the same.
Well, they did study like the classics,
but
type
fluency in
fluency
ancient
maybe
Greek?
not. Fluency maybe not.
Come on, he knows ancient Mayan. He knew a dead language in Crystal Skulls.
Sure.
I like the angle, the Nazi angle of saying that, like, you know, like the Allies didn't win the war. Hitler just lost it, right? I like that angle. If they just went into that a little bit more, like, and I liked his motivation. I liked Mads' motivation of wanting to go back in time and correct all of Hitler's mistakes to make a, you know, right? I like that.
Yeah.
I just wish they leaned into it a little bit more. You got the Nazis back. Lean into the fucking Nazis, man.
Nope.
Lean into something.
Lean in.
That's
like,
not this Archimedes bullshit.
exactly.
And also, 213 BC Archimedes fucking warships are crack shots. They took down a fucking plane.
And he's on his little horse galloping while all hell is breaking loose.
Yeah.
Oh, he's fine.
He's fine.
He's fine.
Everything's gonna be fine.
He's got nothing to worry about.
Just dumb decisions, man. I feel like there's something good in there. They just fucked it all up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like I said, by the time they got to that point, I was done. I was like, I've had enough.
Yeah.
Just whatever happens from here, I don't care. I just don't care. And
it was
to
me.
tell you the truth,
it was me too, man.
I was more excited watching Kingdom of the Crystal Skull than I was this movie.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
Honestly, like there was.
I had a fucking blast watching it last night.
I watched it. Well, obviously, I watched it at home, and I had fun with Crystal Skull. I remember like during this movie today, and there was moments where, and I mean, like I have a head cold, so sure, that's contributing part of it. But there was a lot of times where I was just like rubbing my eyes because it was just so fucking done with this movie. I just wanted it to be fucking done,
and everything was so fun. Like they have all these moments, and it's like Marvel. It's fucking dark. I can't see.
God,
I can't see shit.
So dark.
Yeah.
So dark.
Yeah.
We need to get away. Like, light your fucking scenes properly.
Yeah.
And fuck,
or
don't
fight
give me
the
this
fucking daylight.
And don't give me this fucking shit that it's like, oh well, it's meant for a theater. I fucking saw it in the theater and it was dark as fuck. Like, get the fuck out of here. This isn't because, people just watch it at home and it's not calibrated right. No. You're fucking filming dark. Get the fuck out.
That, and even if it wasn't calibrated right, most people just keep the bright settings on.
Yeah.
They don't fuck with the darkness.
Yeah.
So if it's still fucking dark when it's on the brightest setting,
Yeah. It's dark.
it's dark. And you said fight in the daylight. The big fucking battle scene is in the daylight.
Yeah.
And it still looks like shit.
Yeah.
It looks a lot better than the rest of the movie.
Well, obviously. Sure. But I think it's safe to say that this movie sucked real bad.
Yeah.
And they should just leave it alone.
Yeah.
But I know they're going to reboot it in 5 years.
I don't know what they're.
I
don't know what the end
that they
game
can't.
is.
I don't think you can recast Harrison Ford.
No, you can't.
I'd agree with that. But they're going to.
I don't think they will.
And if they even come close to it, it's going to fall flat because Indiana Jones is Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like he's like a literary thing that existed before that you can cast someone to kind of fit the literary archetype. No. He is Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Like
They could bring in Tom Selleck. That'd be kind of fun.
Tom Selleck.
Because he was supposed to be Indiana Jones.
That would be a weird thing.
right.
I'm hoping they just take a lesson from Solo. Solo fell flat in its face because you can't, Harrison Ford is Solo.
It's not even that. Like, I felt a lot better watching Solo than I did watching this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even though that movie was muddy as that movie looked like somebody streaked mud across the camera.
Absolutely did. I have not watched that movie since it came out.
Neither have I. I remember how fucking bad it was, and then at the end Darth Maul shows up and I was like, this is fucking awesome, but holy shit, how bad was this movie to get here?
Yeah, just
this
to
was
get to
not
that
worth
moment.
the journey.
No. I've watched Rogue One more times than I've seen Solo.
I really want to watch Rogue One again.
So good.
It's such a good Mads Mikkelsen.
Actually good in it.
Well, he's good in it. He's good. He's just not
not
great.
used.
He's
Yeah.
underused.
Yeah.
So what are we recommending, guys?
Not.
No.
Just
No.
kill it with fire.
Wait till it shows up on Disney Plus.
I wouldn't
it's
even
just
do that.
not worth it.
Yeah.
It's an epilogue we didn't need. It's boring. It's not at all exciting. Wait until
Nope.
somebody puts the tuk tuk scene on YouTube and just watch
Watch
that.
Yeah.
That's
it.
it.
Watch that whole chase over and over again.
Watch that because nothing compares to that.
Correct.
It's just
I didn't think we could get as bad as Crystal Skull.
We did.
We did.
you just
We
said it was
did.
a blast for watching it. Do you think you'll watch this again and think it was a blast?
No,
No.
Like,
I don't even think I'm going to watch it again.
I don't want to watch it again.
I've already forgotten it.
I saw it a few days ago and like watching the other ones after it,
Yeah.
it just makes it worse.
Yeah.
Because it's just sitting in my head now, and I can't figure out why the scene exists other than I guess to get the kid alone. But that whole moment where like those kids in Sicily make fun of him, and then he goes and pickpockets one to get an ice cream cone. I'm like, what the fuck is this for?
Yeah.
Like, why is this here?
Yeah.
It's just literally to put him down a side street. But he could have just
movie's got a movie.
could have just wandered away. I would have also accepted that as an answer.
Movie's got a movie.
Ugh, fucking God.
Well, the reason why I say it's not, we can't get as bad as Crystal Skull, because Crystal Skull, yeah, I had a blast watching it. It's still radically different from the other three. Like I said, this one, not even it doesn't even resemble an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like it's not.
Well, parts of it does.
Parts of it,
Harrison Ford does.
Harrison Ford, but
And he's great.
Yeah.
that's it.
That's it.
And you want to know what? It comes down to it. Spielberg didn't do it. So if Spielberg didn't do it, it you can tell immediately.
Yep.
That it's not.
Like I like James Mangold, and I think he gave it the college try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
it
don't-
just, if it had a reason to exist, I think it would have gone over better.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was no even.
But now you know why
Oh my
Spielberg didn't
God.
want to fucking do it.
Well, no, he got burnt out after everybody hated on Crystal Skull
Yeah.
and didn't want to do it again
Yeah.
George Lucas has an original writer credit on this.
on Dial of Destiny.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
George Lucas and Philip Kaufman were the original writers, and then it was rewritten by 4 fucking writers.
Now you know why it's bad.
So that's 6 writers.
Yeah. Like Disney is getting its ass handed to them this year because they got cocky.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
fucking and even Fast 10 got cocky. Like
Yeah.
all these movies were made for 300 million plus and are not going to make any money back.
Yep.
They all flopped, and Flash, they all flopped on their faces. And it's
Yeah.
like, this is the come to Jesus moment when you need to realize nostalgia is
You
not
can't weaponize nostalgia. for the
weaponized
whole
nostalgia
thing.
doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
And you can't just make a fucking shitty movie and expect it to still do well.
Yeah.
And you need to spend less on movies.
Absolutely.
You need to cut your budgets back.
Yep.
Like make some hard choices and fucking cut the budgets back because
Yeah.
you cannot afford to keep doing this stupid nonsense.
Also, weird. Well, I guess only because of Disney's vacuuming up of studios. This was a weird co-production.
Oh yeah, with Paramount.
Yeah, of Disney, like seeing the Disney logo, then right after the Paramount logo.
I was
like,
happy the
oh.
Paramount logo showed up.
Yeah.
I think it was more of just like a contractual thing.
Yeah, of course. Also, did not enjoy the fact that they didn't use the Paramount Mountain to start the movie.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Like, come on, it was right there.
It's true.
You could have done something with it.
It's true.
Could have
It's
just, turned the scene dark and it's a mountain in Germany before you cut to the fucking castle. Done.
I did like that it was just like blink and you'll miss it Disney as opposed
Yeah.
to the whole song
Oh,
and
yeah, the
dance,
whole
which is
thing.
actually really beautiful for their 100th anniversary. I don't know if
Yes.
you guys have seen the whole credit. It's really beautiful, but like it would not have worked with that movie
No.
at all.
No, it'd been egregious.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just you're learning the hard lessons, guys.
Yeah.
And I don't blame Kathleen Kennedy like all the fucking fanboys do, because it's not all her fault. But it's like you're learning some hard lessons.
This gets laid at the feet of all the creatives behind this.
And you need to just like, maybe you didn't need to do it.
Yep.
Maybe you saw it and you were like, well, we could do this. Maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah. Maybe not.
Maybe we shouldn't.
Maybe when, George turned in his original script and Spielberg wasn't interested, maybe you go, maybe we just don't do this one. Maybe we pass.
Yeah. Well, Spielberg signed off on it, and I'm sure if Spielberg shot it and put his stamp on it, I'm sure it would have looked a lot better, or would have been more exciting at least.
Yep.
Definitely.
But that it's too safe.
Yep.
It's too safe. And then it's too stupid.
Yep.
Just a whole lot of dumb.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But yeah, don't want to ever talk about it again.
We're done with it. We're over.
done.
It's over.
And I've
Yay.
retroactively, as we're talking about this, want to rate Crystal Skull higher than this movie.
I've already dropped it like probably like a full star
Yeah.
in this
I
conversation.
might have to retcon.
I'm gonna have to retcon it too.
Yeah.
It's the worst
But
one
hey.
by far.
We're done with it. We never have to talk about it again. Done and dusted.
Mom's gonna be real pissed when she sees it tomorrow.
She'll probably enjoy it.
She probably will.
I don't think she will.
Maybe not. We'll see.
I think she'll like part of it, but
She's
she
a big
might-
indie fan, so you never know.
Then she might be let down.
Yeah. Like we were.
Yes.
Anyway, do we have anything else to finish up tonight?
Do you want to talk about New Blues or?
Do you want to talk about New Blues?
I have a ton, but
Yeah.
I haven't had time to watch them because I've just been watching fucking Mission Impossible and fucking Indiana Jones movies.
It's fine.
But
yeah,
the Criterion Collection sale is on 50% off at Barnes and Noble.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. And it's
Jeez.
35% off at Unobstructed View.
if you go to Unobstructed View /Finger Guns, take an extra $5 off your order.
I fucking wish.
We'll get there. We'll get
And
there
if
one
you
day,
use that
boys.
coupon all day.
All that, just spam the coupon.
Yeah.
But
Use promo code Finger Guns.
Yeah.
TDJ.
I'm really excited. I'm gonna pick up. Want to pick up Wall-E because
Nice.
obviously I need that on Criterion.
Of course.
Lost Highway, David
Yeah.
Lynch. Really want that. After Hours,
Sure.
Scorsese. That one
Yeah.
comes out. That's brand new, so I'm really excited for that. And I'm actually toying with the idea of getting Hal Ashby's Being there because everyone keeps talking about it recently, and I was like,
Yeah.
maybe I should get this.
It's good.
Yeah, you like it?
It's good.
Yeah, so I might get it. Tony, what are you picking up?
I'm after the Infernal Affairs trilogy.
Nice.
Ooh.
That's going to be a badass one for sure. And I think I might get Antichrist.
Nice.
I'm gonna
Nicely
need
I thought
that
you
one.
had it.
No, I don't have
I have
Antichrist.
it.
Oh, you
Dave
have
has
it.
it.
Yeah.
I have
I
that,
didn't
and I
want
have
it, and then-
Sallow.
Yeah.
Why do you gotta keep bringing up Sallow? You don't
I
post
just-
it. You
I
don't.
gotta-
You don't
Maybe-
publicize
maybe
you
I
owning
need-
this movie.
Maybe I need Antichrist and Sallow.
Maybe you do.
I have House.
Or
that's the trilogy.
Oh yeah, and I have House.
why don't you get
Howsu.
the big
Howsu.
box set of Pasolini 101? Just
I
came
don't want
out.
that. Sallow's not in it.
Sallow's not in
Sallow's not
I
in it.
don't
There's no
want it.
point.
There's no point.
Yeah, that's the triple feature. Howsu, Sallow, and Antichrist.
And Antichrist.
Yeah.
That's a cold shower after.
That's a dark day.
That's a dark day.
That's a date night from hell.
Hell yeah.
yeah, that's a
Howsu
first.
to start.
That's a first date for
That's
sure.
a first and last date.
Yeah. If they don't disown you after Sallow, they will after Antichrist.
Oh man, the fox. I just think about that fox.
Oh my god.
And the fact that he had to cast someone else because Willem Dafoe's dick was
Yeah.
too big.
They needed a dong double.
They needed a dong double that was smaller than Willem Dafoe because he
Yeah.
thought
Good
it'd be
for Willem.
distracting.
Good for Willem.
Good for him. Good for him.
Good for him.
But yeah, I'm really excited to pick those titles up, and we'll have some reviews hopefully in the next coming weeks. And apparently, I guess I'm buying Sallow for James. But outside of that, yeah, I think the next one will be on schedule, and then we'll have a couple of bonus for you.
Yes.
Spoiler alert: there'll be some bonus Fantasia episodes.
There's gonna have to be. 'Cause I'm
Yes.
sure there's gonna be a bunch.
Yes, and hopefully we don't go on for an entire
Hours and
month
hours
about
and
it.
hours.
We
Yeah.
had like four Fantasia
bad.
episodes
It was
last
bad.
year. didn't we?
Hopefully
We're
we
gonna try to be a little bit more concise.
Yeah, we'll be a little more
Jesus.
concise on this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about all I have to say. Anything from you?
That's it for me, man.
Big Tasty?
Deuces, everybody.
All right. So yeah, I think this wraps up Finger Guns.
I love it.
I'm Dave. Big Tasty already said deuces for some reason.
Tony's out. Tony's already packing up.
And you,
Big Jimmy.
there you go. You're little Jimmy. Big
Oh,
Jim is Jim
Big
Cameron.
Jim Cameron. He's still good. He's got issues.
But yeah, we'll see you soon.